All right. So coming to a seated position, feel yourself firmly anchoring down. When I asked you to lift one side and then the other, you're taking a hand in and you're moving the inner thighs back and apart. We will talk a lot more about this later, but you're going to lift one side with the top hand push down, with the bottom hand pull back, and it allows the rotation to happen in the hip. It gets the knees a bit closer to the floor. Also, you're thinking about tilting the top of your pelvis, angling that down to the floor. As you feel your sit bones pressing down, press down to extend up and create space in the side body. So just taking a moment to come into your space, allow yourself to feel the breath as you move in and exhale out. Just a moment of appreciation for the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. As you feel yourself drawing the breath in, start to move the breath through the nostrils instead of the mouth. Sealing the lips, feel the breath coming in through the nostrils and exhaling out through the nostrils. As you feel the breath entering through the nostrils, you feel the coolness of the air coming in. And as you exhale out, feeling the warmth of the air as you exhale it out. Full deep inhales. Complete exhales. Beginning to move your breath into 3 parts on inhalation and 3 parts on exhalation. Your next inhalation, take a deep inhale, feel the belly rise, feel the ribs expand and feeling the chest lifting, and hold it there. And as you exhale, chest, then the ribs knit closer together. Then the navel draws in toward the spine, but still soft in your belly, exhaling it out. Your next inhale, feel your belly rise. Feel the rib cage expand in the front, the sides, and the back side, and then moving up into your chest. Hold, and as you exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Exhaling it all out. Inhaling, belly rising, slower now. Ribs expanding in all directions, chest lifting, relaxing the shoulders though. And then as you exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Full appreciation for each breath as it draws in and each breath as you exhale out. Bring the chins parallel with the floor. Take your whole throat and ears and pull those back, stacking the head in line with the spine. As you push down through your seat, lifting up through the crown of head, allow the shoulders to relax away from your ears. And just notice internally the space for the breath as you inhale and exhale it out. Take a moment to pull your low ribs back in space. And then as you press through your seat, extend up through the spine. A lot less work with more space inside, allowing the breath to move in easily and to exhale out easily. Close your hands into the heart center, and as you press the palms against one another, take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh, exhale, and let it go. Another deep inhale through your nose all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Open your mouth and be loud as you sigh, exhale, let it all go. The next one will be your Om. Inhaling. The invocation will be call and response. Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. Again, Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. One more time all together. Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. And we're asking that all beings everywhere are happy and free, and that our thoughts, words, and actions will contribute to that happiness in some way. Take a moment, bow your head to your heart center, and set your own intention for this practice this morning. Whatever it is that you need, just bring that into your heart, whatever offering you may have, releasing your hands onto your thighs, lifting your chin, and slowly opening your eyes. Now we'll come onto your hands and knees, so make sure that you have, hopefully you have 2 blocks available. I have 2 blocks, a strap, and a blanket. Just do the best with whatever props you have at home. But coming onto your hands and your knees. As you come onto your hands and knees, take a moment for a few cat-cows. So inhale, lifting your head, chest, seat up. And as you exhale, the head comes in, pelvis comes in, press around and squeeze all the air out. Again, inhaling, lifting the head, chest, seat up. And as you exhale, the head comes in, pelvis comes in, press round and squeezing it all out. Inhaling your spine into neutral position. Bring your big toes together, open your knees out wide. Sit back onto your heels, bow down in the center, taking a child's pose. As you move into child's pose, releasing your forehead to the floor and making an active child's pose. So you're reaching your arms away, you're pressing your seat back, and you feel your side body stretching. Keeping your hands firmly pressing into the floor, draw yourself up into hands and knees. Keep your hands where they are, keep your feet where they are. Curl the toes under, lifting your bottom up, push your chest to your thighs, first down dog. So inhaling and exhaling here, allow the ears to line up with your arms. And take a moment to cycle through your legs, bend one knee, working opposite heel down. Inhaling and exhaling, just breathing in and exhaling out. As you cycle through the legs, allowing the side body to get a little bit of a stretch, just breathe. After a few cycles of the legs, staying in your down dog, come up onto the balls of your feet. Push your chest even closer than the thighs. Really feel the sit bones lift, feel the back side of the body, look toward your navel. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, stretching your heels for the floor. Bringing your feet close together. As your feet are close together in down dog, shift over to the outer blade of the right foot. Stack your left foot on the right, keeping the down dog arms, same pressure in both arms. Push your chest close to your thighs with your hips shifting over to the right, and you'll feel a deep stretch on the left side of the body. Just breathing into that. Be aware of where you're feeling the stretch. Then pivot back into the center on the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, go over to your left side. Stack your right foot over the left. Keep same pressure in both hands. Push your chest to your thighs and feel the whole right side of your body getting that deep stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, pivoting back to the center. Inhale to plank. From plank, holding the plank, your hands underneath your shoulders, drive your hands down. Push your heels back and bring your chest forward, so the whole body activated. Inhale, and as you exhale, push your chest back to your thighs. Slowly walking your feet up towards your hands, the feet about hip bone distance apart. Put a little bend in your knees. Let the chest rest onto the thighs. Extend your arms out to the sides with the palms down. Then flipping the palms up, clasping the hands behind the back. As you interlace your hands, palms together, press your feet down, lift your sit bones up, lift your knuckles up, straighten out your arms, stretch through the elbows, bring your shoulder blades closer to one another, feet are down, sit bones up, and head down. Breathing. But make sure that you feel this pressure of the feet pushing down, the sit bones lifting up and broadening apart. Hollow your belly out, fold a little bit deeper, and make sure that you feel the breath moving. Then releasing your arms, gently press down through your feet, round and roll it all the way up to the top. Slowly. Drive your feet down, roll your shoulders up and back, bring your chin parallel with the floor, throat back, ears back, stabilizing through your feet, extending the arms out, clasping the thumbs, try to pull the thumbs apart, reach your fingertips away, at the same time broadening the chest. Inhale, reaching the arms out, up, go, back, back, back. As you exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms up and over, clasp your hands, palms together, and straighten legs. Hands onto the floor, each side of your feet. Right foot steps back, lunge. Those shoulder blades down your back. Keep the power in the right leg. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin with the arch in the back, elbows in tight. Pressing the hands down, pull the floor back, sliding forward into cobra. Be sure to rotate the shoulder blades onto the back, really engagement through the legs. Curl your toes under, press your seat to the heels, and extend your legs fully for down dog. Inhaling, right foot steps up between your hands, knee over your heel or ankle, so shoulder blades down your back, look forward. Exhaling, left foot to follow. So there's a little space in your legs. Sit back into your chair pose, extend the arms out. Put more weight towards your heels. Pull the thumbs apart, reach fingertips away. Inhale, arms out, up, back, back, back. Exhale, fold forward, swing your arms up and over, clasp your hands, and straighten the legs. Hands onto the floor, each side of your feet. Left foot steps back, lunge, shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Be sure you're staying with the breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Curl up through the heart. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, plank. Exhaling, knees, chest, and chin, elbows in tight. Inhaling into cobra. See how far the arms are back. Exhaling, seat to the heels. Extend your legs fully for down dog. Inhaling, left foot steps up between your hands, knee over your heel or ankle. Exhaling, right foot to follow. Big bend in the knees. Clasp the thumbs, reaching the arms out. Up, go, back, back, back. And hands into heart center. Top of the mat, and breathe. Again, add-ons. Clasp the thumbs, reaching the arms out. Up, back, back, back. Exhale, fold forward. Swing your arms up and over. Clasp your hands, straighten the legs. Hands onto the floor, each side of the feet. Right foot steps back, lunge. So hold it here. You either come up onto teacup fingers or blocks on each side. As you press your hands down, there's a push down to lift up. So you're not really just dumping in the wrist. The left foot is pressing down, it's pushing down, trying to drag back. The back foot's trying to drag forward. Everything is fired up. Keeping the fire up in your legs, place your right knee down to the floor so it's going way back and down. From there, as the back toes stay curled under and the heel is up toward the ceiling, push those down and try to drag isometrically, drag the back knee forward. At the same time, drag the front foot back. You'll feel your inner thighs on fire. Tightening the outer hips. Then, bringing your arms out, keep the torso down. Clasp the thumbs, pull them apart, broaden your chest. Now reach out like you want something. Reach out. Inhale, as you go up with your arms, the hips go lower, but they're squeezing the muscles to the bone. As you exhale, the hands come down. You can remove the blocks. Palms down, back knee up, step it back, down dog. Inhaling, plank pose, top of it, push up. Exhaling, remember to shift forward, bend elbows straight back, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra, pulling the floor back. See, the hands are in line with the lower ribs, right? Curl the toes. Seat to your heels. Extend your legs fully for down dog. Inhaling, right foot steps steps up between your hands, knee over your heel or ankle. So when you get it here, the 4 points of contact. So lift your toes, feel the foot drive down. Teacup fingers, there's a push down to lift up to get the belly off the thighs. Or if the arms feel a little too short, using a block, push down. So this is a lengthening through the spine. The back heel's pushing back like it's touching a wall behind it. The front foot's pushing down, trying to drag the floor back. I can pull the belly off the thighs. My legs are working hard. Arms out. Clasp your thumbs. Reach arms out, up, go back, back, back. And then hands to the floor. Step your left foot forward to meet the right. Sit low into a chair. Arms extend out, clasp. Arms out, up, back, back, back. And exhale, fold forward. Swing arms up and over. Clasp your hands, straighten legs. Hands onto the floor, each side of your feet. Left foot steps back, lunge. All right, here we go. Power the hands down. Shoulder blades down your back. Left heel's pushing back hard. The front foot's pushing down, trying to drag back. The left knee going down and back so that you're not on the kneecap, because as you pull yourself forward, the right knee a little bit more forward in front of the toes, then you will feel it on the above your kneecap, the meatier part of that. But keep your legs engaged. So this is an inner thighs back and apart, scooping the tailbone, taking the arms out, clasp the thumbs. As your arms go up, the hips go lower. Legs are powered. Reach it back. Feel that deep stretch. Exhaling the hands down. Step your right foot back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, plank. Exhaling, knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling, feel this in the triceps. Pulling the floor back. Shoulder blades down the back. Look up. Curl the toes. Seat to the heels. Extend the legs fully, down dog. Inhaling, left foot steps up between your hands, knee over your heel or ankle. This can be a high lunge, or you can drop the back knee down to go back to the low lunge. Fingertips or blocks on each side, but power your legs up, like hug them toward the midline. Then draw the shoulders away from your ears, belly off the thighs, arms out, clasp the thumbs, reach out like we want something. As your arms go up, the hips go lower. Arms up, hips low, come back. And then exhale, hands down. Step your right foot forward to meet the left. Sit down low into our chairs. Clasp your thumbs. Try to cross your thumbs. Reach your arms out, up, back, back, back. And hands in to heart center. So standing in mountain pose, allow yourself to breathe in and to exhale out, just noticing your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. All right. Surya Namaskar B from the top of your mat. Feet close together this time. You're going to make yourself really honest. So sit down into your chair. Take your hands alongside of your feet. Have the longest fingertip touch the floor. Just like you were with the blocks on each side, you push down to lift up. We're going to do that here. Your tip of your finger pushes down and you lift your shoulders up. Feel the inner thighs move back and apart. Scoop your tailbone. Utkatasana, chair pose. If your shoulders are open, you can bring the palms together. Look at your thumbs. As you exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, Chaturanga. Low push-up. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Pivot left. Stand heavy into your back foot. Arms up, warrior one. You can have the palms together as long as the shoulder blades are down the back. Feel the lift up in the heart. Tailbones down, low belly draws in and up. As you exhale, prayer hands through heart center, placing the hands on each side of the foot. Stepping back, you can do vinyasa, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, pivot right, Step heavy into both feet, especially the back. Arms up. Left hip pulls back, right hip forward, tailbones down. Feel the legs squeezing like they were in the lunge. Shoulders away from your ears. Gaze up. Exhale. Her hands down. Step it back. Vinyasa. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhaling, exhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, bending your knees deeply. Get your knees close to the floor, but keep your bottoms way up in the sky. Look between your hands. Jump your feet up to between your hands. So keep your hips high as you spring forward, feet up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, feet close together. Remember the honesty, the longest finger touching down, shoulders up away. Back to chair pose, your choice. Then to Samasthiti. Arms by your sides. So find your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, and keep your breath calm, like when you first took your seat. We're looking for that sense of calm where you're breathing in through your nose and exhaling out through the nose. Okay, a little bit more add-on. Here we go. Inhaling, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhaling, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Curl up through your heart, reach your legs away. Exhaling, down dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, pivot left. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands down, step it back. All in one exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, pivot right. Warrior 1, power through your back leg, heart open. Exhaling, hands down, step it back, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, pivot left, warrior 1, and hold. Here we go. Arms up, shoulders away from your ears. Keep working the right hip back, left hip forward, inner thighs back and apart, tailbone down for 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, opening out to your left for warrior 2. Right knee over the heel or ankle, tailbone down, low belly draws in, lifting up, powering through both legs. Inhale, straightening front leg. Exhale, right arm reaching way out over the right leg, side body long. Right hand down to the floor or a block. Push down to lift up so there's no collapsing in the wrist. Sweeping the left arm up, stack it over the right. And be sure that you can still feel a mountain pose element in this. So your feet are pressing down, inner thighs are back and apart, scooping the tailbone toward the left heel. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. That's it. Push down to lift up, and every part of your body is working. No gripping with the toes. Breathe out for 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, 5. Inhaling all the way up to the top. Exhaling, warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhaling, exhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, 5. Inhale, straightening the front leg. As you exhale, bend your right knee, drive your left foot down, reach your right arm out, so side body long. And instead of sticking the butt out, you want to really scoop the tailbone under. Push the outer blade of the left foot to get the right arm out. Right hand goes down, wrist in line with the ankle. You You can have a block here, you can have fingertips, or palm down. Sweeping the left arm up, stack it over the right, but feel the driver in this one, the left foot. Push down through the left foot, keep a straight line of energy through your left heel, your left hip, your left shoulder, and now your left arm. Take the left arm alongside of the ear. Palm face down, ankle pinky down, shoulder away from the ear. Spinning the right side of the belly and chest open. Get into that whole left side of the body. Inhale, and as you exhale, the left hand down. And step your left foot in as much as you need to so that you can power down through that. Inhale, straighten the right leg and pull right hip up, back. Squeeze your inner thighs, zip them up, exhale, chin to shin, 1. Inhaling, exhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, 5. Inhale, lifting your head and chest. You'll pivot on the back foot, bend your front knee, stepping back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left foot steps forward, pivot right. Warrior 1, come up, powerful in your legs. Be sure the hips aren't too low. Palms together, push into one another, shoulder blades down the back. Inhaling, exhaling for 2. Inhaling, exhaling for 3. Inhaling, exhaling 4. Inhaling, exhaling 5. Inhale, open out to your right, which is warrior 2. I'm going to turn this way so I don't have to face away from you. So warrior 2, powerful in your legs. Inhale, straightening the front leg. As you exhale, now we want to really make sure that your outer hips are tight. So lift all of your toes, drive your feet down, draw the kneecaps up, thighs up. Exhale, reach the left arm out, stretch it, side body long, left hand down to a block or the floor. Keep the ball jointed, the left big toe pressing down as you sweep your right arm up. Inhale, exhale, 1. Now are you sticking your butt out? Take your tailbone, scoop it under, reach your tailbone towards your right heel, push your right foot down to bring your heart forward and slide shoulder blades down the back. For 4 and 5, inhaling all the way up to standing. Exhale, bend your left knee over the heel or ankle. Feel both legs powerful, push it down. Now I'm not going down so low, I'm hanging out in the groin ligaments. I'm pulling up, and now this is muscular work. Tailbone down, low belly drawing in and up, shoulders away from the ears for 3. Inhale, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, 5. Inhale, straightening the front leg. Now as we exhale, bend your left knee, reach the left arm out, get a straight line of energy from the outer blade of your right foot all the way up through the right hip. So you don't want the hip sagging down, but lift up the inner thigh, bending the left knee over the heel or ankle. The left hand goes down to the floor outside of your left foot or a block. First, sweep your right arm up. So feel the power in the foot, the right foot, push down. As you push down, you're drawing up. The inner thighs are working. The tailbone's reaching to the back heel. As you drive the back heel down, let that drive the chest this way. Take your right arm alongside the right ear, palm face down, ankle pinky down. Now this time, try to split your mat. Isometrically, push your front foot like you're trying to tear the mat, but the feet they don't move. Breathe into this. Spin the left side of the belly and chest open. Inhale, and as you exhale, the right hand comes down, framing the front foot, step your right foot in, then straighten left knee as you drive the left heel down, tap the left hip up and back. Turn, right hip down. Zip up your inner thighs like the tightest pair of jeans. To inhale, and as you exhale, chin to shin, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhaling, exhaling. 3. Inhale, exhaling. 4. Inhaling, exhaling. 5. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Pivot your back heel up. Bend your front knee. Step it back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhaling, exhaling, 2. Inhaling, exhaling, 3. Inhaling, exhaling, 4. Inhaling, exhaling, bending your knees deeply, hips up high. Look where you're going, and then keeping your hips high, so you have to drive the hands down to jump your feet up to your hands. Then inhale, half lift, exhale, forward fold. Honest person, fingertips on the outside, sit back, more weight toward the heels, arms up. Samasthiti, arms by your side. Standing at the top of the mat, just close your eyes and feel yourself breathing in and exhaling out. Whew. Feels good to move like that. Shake it all off from the top of your mat. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. You can use your fingertips onto the floor. You can have blocks onto the floor alongside of the feet. But you'll step your right foot back into a lunge. Teacup fingers, shoulders away from your ears, and breathing here. So in the first lunge, you're going to place the right knee down to the floor. You're going to take the left foot and you're going to scooch it over to outside of your left hand. So bring your left hand on the inside. So you'll either be on palms, even fingertips if needed, but you're not like hanging out, but you're pushing down to lift up, pull the belly away from the thighs, shoulder blades down your back. Keep the toes forward on this one right now. Just shift your hips side to side. Just allow yourself to see where the hips are today. Remembering the 4 points of contact of the left foot. When you lift the toes, that engages muscle energy. You're pressing the foot down. Energetically, you're taking the ball of the joint of the big toe and you're like pulling the energy down through the inner heel. From the inner heel, as it drives down into the floor, it's going to draw all the way up the inner seam of the leg, all the way up into the inner groin. As you press it down from the inner groin to the outer sit bone, all the way out through the outer leg, all the way down through the heel, up into the pinky toe. So everything is working. There's a shift side to side, but it's work. All right. Then, taking the left toes, lift them up, turn them out to the side. And then take a moment here and shift side to side. Now, right hand goes directly underneath your right shoulder. Drive the hand down. You also have the option of coming on to your elbows and forearms if this is available to you. Either way, I'm going to do elbows and forearms, but you could be doing this with the palm down. I'm going to take my right forearm and make it parallel with the front of the mat. Keeping that action, take my left hand onto the left knee. This is going to help me first push down, pull the floor back, and extend the spine. Then as I drive the left hand down and the right elbow down, I'm going to get this spin in here. Just wherever organically, and if your right hip kind of dips down a little bit, that's okay too. The left knee's toes are turned out. Just find the deep stretch of this. Gaze up toward the ceiling and breathe. Inhale, and as you exhale, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, the left hand down. Hand goes underneath your shoulder. Push it down to lift up onto both palms again. Turn your toes forward. That's it. Back knee up off the floor. The back toes have been curled under the whole time. From here, drive it down. Feel yourself hollow the belly out. Step your left foot back into down dog. Woo. Stretch it out. Inhale, and as you exhale, step your right foot up between your hands, knee over your heel or ankle. Just a moment here in a lunge, side to side. Fingertips, blocks, wherever, just to make sure like you're really aware if there's dumping in the joints, are you aware that you're doing it, right? So we want to push down, lift up, and everything should be working. You're shifting side to side, then placing the left knee down to the floor. If it's tender, you pat it up a little bit. But we're going to take the right foot and we're going to go over to the right side, bringing the right hand inside in line with the ankle. Both palms are down, and you're just kind of finding your way here. So when you keep the ball of the foot down, the 4 points of contact of the feet, that you're lifting the toes, this is called, we're really making the foot solid. And when the foot is solid down, our foundation is solid down, and then we do all those energetics from the ball of the joint, the big toe, sliding to the inner heel, all the way up into the inner seam of the leg, into the inner groin, to the outer sits bones, the outer sit bones coming all the way back down to the outer heel, all the way to the pinky toe, and then from the pinky toe back to the big toe. That's what we would call a closed chain energy, a closed chain energy. And so that makes all the interactions of the inner thighs back and apart, tailbone down, all those actions happen. But you have to have this closed chain so that nothing is left behind. Everything has to work. So then taking your right toes, lift them up, pivot the right foot out to the side. And then still bringing the heart forward. You can come onto one elbow and forearm, 2 elbows and forearms. You can have blocks underneath your elbows and forearms, or you can stay on the palms with straight arms. Your choice. Listen to your body and just breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. Now I'm going to use my left forearm parallel with the front of my mat. So I'm going to bring my right hand in. The left elbow is underneath the left shoulder, and there's not a dumping action, but there's actually a push down to lift up, push down to lift up. Everything's pushing down to pull back on the floor, which brings my chest forward. The right hand's onto the right knee. And with this, I can get my twisting action. So don't forget to push down the forearm and pull it back so you have extension in the spine for your twist that's about to happen. As you twist, you're elongating through the spine, but your back foot's also working. The left foot is pushing down. The heel is trying to stay up to the ceiling. As you get this twist in here, slide the shoulders away from your ears and breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Then shift it a little side to side. Notice where you're feeling it. Noticing the power of the legs. There's a pull back in the front foot. There's a pull forward in the back foot. You're scissoring your legs toward one another. You're rolling your inner thighs back and apart, scooping tailbone, which gives you the heart opening, right? And then the right hand comes down underneath your shoulder. Push it down. Left hand comes down. That's it. Back knee lifts up. Drive down. Hollow out the belly. Lift your back, right heel and step it back into down dog. Woo. And breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly walking your feet up to your hands. Hold on to opposite elbows. Hang your head down and breathe. Allow yourself to sway side to side. Coming back into the center, releasing your arms. Press your fingertips down. Inhale, half lift with extension in the spine, power in your legs. Exhale, hands to hips. Hug your inner elbow points together. Pressing down through your feet, chin out of the chest. Inhaling it all the way up to the top and exhale. So standing at the top of the mat, bring your feet close together. So really energizing through the feet to lift and extend up through the spine. Inhaling your arms up alongside of the ears, interlacing your hands, the little yoga gun, index fingers up. Squeeze your ears with your arms, but at the same time slide the shoulder blades down the back. Push your feet down, and you'll notice if there's like a sway in your back. So really close chain this, the feet pressing down, inner thighs back and apart, tailbone down. Low belly draws in, lifts up. Restrain your low ribs, sliding shoulder blades down your back, and you have a very strong stretch in the body. By pressing the feet down, lean over to your right side. Lean over to your right side. Using your right hand to help pull the left hand down, you get more of a side body stretch. Power the outer blade of your left foot down, tailbone down, the belly draws in and up. Really reach and stretch, squeezing your ears, but shoulders away. You can kind of look down toward the floor. You can look forward, or you can even gaze up. Your choice, but lean back a little bit. Right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Inhale, back to the center. Keep the power on the legs. Keep the closed chain going. Go over to the left side. So as you go over to the left side, you'll tend to see the right shoulder turning down. Take the right arm back, left shoulder forward, shoulders away from your ears. You don't want to see your arms squeeze. Now really drive the outer blade of your right foot down as you use your left hand to pull further into the side body. This is great for your internal organs. There's a squeeze off, a stopping of the blood flow. It's squeezing as you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Super powerful pose. And then as you inhale, bring it back, you get that flush of blood flowing back in, exhaling, arms out and down. Woo! Roll the shoulders up and back. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, squat down. You can lift your heels if you need to. Excuse me, I have to get something to drink real quick. So this is, we'll be moving into a form of Malasana. So here, if you can get your heels down while you're in the squat, we're going to bring the arms on the inside. So keep the inner blades of your feet together, knees open wide. And so this requires inner thighs back and apart too. And there's a pivoting action that's happening in the hip joints. So see if you can feel what's needed to get into this where your heels are down, your feet are pressing down, the inner blades are touching to one another, and the knees are opening out wide. And then there's a bow down in the center, the arms reaching out, and the head dropping down to find a hip opening stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Pressing down through your hands, lift your head and chest. Exhaling, let yourself sit back. Bringing the knees together, extend your feet out a little bit. We're going to practice a figure four on the floor first because we want to move this into a standing pose. But let's talk a little bit about the figure four. I'm going to lay on my back to access this. So if you lay onto your backs, have your feet hip bone distance apart. The feet are pressing down. Remember, you can lift your toes to engage muscle energy, pushing the feet down. Then even out your hips. Feel that your hips are even, the back is down. Taking the right ankle, cross it over the left knee. Then as the right ankle crosses over the left knee, I'm going to let you see this side of it. Make sure that the right knee is not coming in towards your chest, but moving out and away from you. We're going to talk about this. You stay there, I'm coming up. But we're going to talk about how the foot tends to sickle. The outer blade of the foot reaches out forward. But remember the closed chain I was talking about, how the foot had to push down all 4 points of contact? When you cross the right foot over the left knee, and the ankle bone is pressing onto the leg, then you have to engage the right foot like you're standing in a closed chain. So the ball of the joint of the big toe presses away, and all the energetics that you can muster about that pushing out, flexing the foot strongly, and then pushing your right knee away. So you could do this as you're on the ground. Really feel the knee moving away. You've got like a big triangle of space in there in between the legs. You can bring the left knee up into your chest. You can reach in there and grab onto the back of your left thigh or the front of your left shin. Can you not hear me? I'm going to sit up but pretend like I'm on the floor, okay? So I'm sitting up, pretend I'm on the floor like you are, with the ankle bone crossed, really engaging, the foot pressing down, the right foot moving, pushing away, and the knee moving away. We'll talk a lot more about that in just a moment, but you'll feel it more in the hip joint, the pivoting action happening. So just taking a moment to feel that, then uncross the right leg, place it down. Feet are hip bone distance apart. You're laying on your back. I'm sitting up so that you can hear me. Take the left ankle, cross it over the right knee. Again, ankle bone pressing into right above your knee, the fleshy part there. The left foot is really engaged, like you're standing on the floor, but you don't have anything to press against. But energetically, you have to think like standing. The right foot is already pressing down. Remember, this is a variation of me laying on my back, but I'm up here showing you. And then as the left foot is really engaged, the left knee moves away. Both of your hips are level. Then if you brought your right knee up into your chest, you could either hold on to the back of your right leg, or to make it a deeper stretch, you would grab onto your right shin, bringing the left knee in toward the chest, but press the knee away. And you'll feel a deep hip opener here. And then releasing the right foot down, uncross your left foot. That's it. Roll over to your right side, press yourself up, cross with your shins, come forward, curl your toes under, and then press all the way up to standing. So let's see what this would look like from a standing position, right? So the feet are hip bone distance apart. You're going to cross your right ankle over the left knee. The left knee will need to bend now, so you have to make sure that the right foot is fully engaged. There's no sickle foot, but it's fully engaged. There's a triangle of space. Hands stay at the heart center. This is my bad knee side, so I'm going to do my best to do this without hurting my knee. But you would bring it down. Once you get down here, you're going to take your hands, cross at the wrist, take your hands to your inner thighs, roll the flesh down, and as you roll the flesh down, scoop your tailbone. Bring your heart forward. Fold the chest closer to the thigh. Feel that stretch. You can maybe remove your hands and place the hands onto the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, press it all the way up, straighten your leg. Right foot down. Okay, both feet down. Cross your left ankle over the right knee, like we were when we were laying down. Engage the foot. The right foot's already pushing down, but also there's going to be something that you'll see here in my alignment that's bad, is that the right hip tends to jut out because I haven't engaged that closed circuit yet where it draws it in. But that's beside the point. Flex your left foot. It's really not, but it is. Bending your right knee. Pair of hands to heart center. Just there's so many things to think about here. We want to work on the flexing of the foot, the energetics of the foot, bending your right knee so that you're putting more weight toward your heels, but you're working. The right foot's already pressing down. You want the hips not one side or the other, so draw the outer right hip in. Hands to heart center, shoulders away from your ears. Crossing at the wrist. Here we go. Inner thighs back and apart. Remember the inner thighs back and apart? And then scoop your tailbone to bring your chest forward. Then maybe we take the fingertips to the floor. Take some balance, right? Inhale, half lift. Exhale, press it up. Left foot down. It's hard. It's not easy to stay engaged like that. Inhaling, arms up. Squeezing your ears, feet close together. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Stay high on the balls of your feet. Squeeze your ears. Restrain your low ribs. Start to squat down. Stay high on the balls of your feet. Shoulders stay over your hips. Come down slow, 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 down. Heart center, knees open wide. Just for grins, we're going to do a crow. Hands down. So the crow variation, one of the crow variations here is if you're not a crow person, that you would have a block. You would place the block down and step onto the block. So there it is. It raises my hips higher. We had the hands down, the inner blades of the feet are together, right? But it's very important that we get the hips up high. So I'm going to slide my hands back because I want my shins to be able to push onto my upper arms. I need my elbows to bend straight back, and as I shift forward, I'll need the elbows to go over the wrist. So this is what I'm talking about. Hands slide back, they're firmly engaged. We've been practicing that a lot. Elbows bend straight back so you're coming down, placing the shins onto the upper arms. If you try to lift from here, my butt is lower than my knees, which makes it harder. So from here, I have to do this. Maybe I have to slide my hands back a little bit more so I can get the shins on the upper arms, but the butt is up high, and then there's just a tip. The hands are pressing down. I want to remember to keep the chest broad and hug your inner blades of your feet together. Feet down. You just give that a try. So that's a modification. Now, sometimes people are very worried about going forward, so you can have a bolster or a blanket in front of you so that if you were to tip forward, it doesn't hurt. And so in order not to tip forward, that's when you have to remember about the drive it down, close the chain of energy, so that by driving your hands down, squeezing in, it broadens the chest. So we're looking for that lifting in the heart. All right, so take one more crow. Have fun with it, whether you use the block or not. And then from there, if you can jump back to chaturanga. So let's see. Crow to chaturanga. Here we go. From crow, up. You have to push the floor away and drive it back. Want to try that again? Again. So crow, there's a push back and a jump back with your legs. Hands are in, knees up, shins on your upper arms. Here we go. Squeeze, lift butt up high. Whew. Wait, I'm getting tired. Here we go. Jump it back. Yeah, I'm too tired now. Chaturanga, up dog, exhale, down dog. Sit back on your heels and breathe. I know, that's a lot of fun. So let me check time. Ooh, it's already 11. All right. I'm going to skip a few of these and come back to you a little bit later. But let's talk about Sirsasana 2 or Headstand Prep 2. So on this, it's a tripod headstand, So placing the hands down, like chaturanga hands, you're sitting back onto your heels. You'll bow down in the center, place your forehead down. Now, as you place your forehead down, hands push down, bring your hips over your knees. As the hips go over the knees, now you'll see my elbows are not back behind my wrist, but they're in line. The head is not in line with the fingertips, so it's literally making a bit of a triangle. So this is one mat right here, just so that you can see a reference point, right? And you can see this from the side. So the hands are down, forehead is down. You see they're already away from the hands, but then I have to roll up onto my head, which brings them some space of a triangle. Elbows in tight. Walk it in, walk it in, walk it in. One shin on, one shin on. And just be here. The push down to lift the shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you bring knees up, legs up. Heels bend, knees in, shins down, and roll it back. Isn't that fun? I know. Try that a couple times. I want to see you guys do it. So I'm looking.
I'm gonna try. I don't know if my wrist will be okay with it, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, and if you can even work toward maybe the forearm balance, where you don't have to have the flexion of the wrist. You can have a wall behind you, maybe. That's awesome. Just see how it feels, right? You don't have to put the pressure on it. Who was that? It just went down. Who just went down like that? Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it, but that's okay. Is your wrist okay?
Yeah, but I feel it. Like when I do this kind of thing, I feel it.
Okay, so we'll work on forearms and work that later, so you won't have that flexion in your wrist. You can do your elbows and forearms down, and the head won't touch down on that one. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So as you come up, so the counter pose to a headstand, we're going to start to close out the practice now. Shift over to one hip, extend your legs out, and then when we sat like this in a cross leg position, we did inner thighs back and pulled apart. But when we have the legs out, we're still looking for the tilt of the tailbone, but it's a different direction. So your hand's going to go back behind your sit bone, and you're going to pull the flesh, and it shortens the leg. Do that on both sides, and there's the tilt of the tailbone. Tilt of the front of the pelvis toward the floor. The sit bones are down. Then the inhaling of the arms up. Hinge at your hips, fold forward. When you want to round your back, stop there. Hold on to your legs, wherever that is. You can use blocks, whatever. But there should be some sort of pull. So you're holding on, you're pulling back to allow your sit bones to press and the expansion in the chest to happen. So instead of the rounding and reaching for the toes, we're not looking for that action. Instead, we're looking for the deep hinge in the hip, the elongation of the spine, and the stretch in the back of the legs. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, of course, you bend your knees a little bit to access this to keep the spine long for the actual pose that we're looking for at this time. Once you get as far into that crease of the hips, fold straight, then you can allow yourself to bow your head down. So that's more mid to upper back rounding, and just let yourself kind of relax in the front of the forehead, softening, exhaling out. So in headstands, the counter pose to that is seated forward folds or Paschimottanasana. And about 10 breaths work here. Then inhaling, lifting your head and chest, and exhaling, sitting back nice and easy. Draw the right heel back to the right sit bone, fold the right knee out to the side, Janu Sirsasana. Inhaling the arms up, twist the torso to the left, but don't lift the sit bones to get it. Exhale, fold forward over the left leg. Same principle. We're not going for it. Grab the foot immediately and round and squeeze your low back. But we're actually asking to keep the length. Arms up. Hinge at the hips when you want to round. Hold on evenly. Pull back, heart forward. And then when you get to the point where you can go no further with the straight back, bow your head. And breathe. Remember, the ball of joint, the big toe, is pressing out. The inner seam of the leg is working. Shoulders away from your ears. As much space as possible. And also awareness to the sit bones. Do you feel the sit bones pushing down to expand out? Inhale, lifting the head and chest. Exhaling, sitting up nice and easy. Let's take this a little bit different. So you're going to take the left foot out to the left. Turn your right foot down. And now, first, the right heel was in the left inner groin. Now the right heel is going to go to the right inner groin. The toes will turn under and the heel up. So make any movement you need to lift the back, tilt the flesh back, front of your sits bones pressing down. Left hand to the middle, right hand to the outside, both sit bones down. Push down, lift your heart up, exhale, twist to the right. Keep the twist that you have. Taking your left arm, thread it down inside of the left leg, going to the lowest point you can go. From there,
drop your left ear to the left shoulder. You really need to release the neck in this part. Then from there, place your right hand onto the right thigh. And instead of worrying about a twist, take a moment here to elongate. So the right hand's going to push into the right inner thigh to help me extend the left ribs onto the left thigh. At the same time, when I'm holding on with my left hand to the leg, I'm kind of crawling my left elbow out and away, out and away. So then it helps me bring it in, forward. Maybe I get a little more length. Then, taking your right arm out, flip your palm up. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up. Reach as far as you can. Maybe you can touch the foot, maybe not. But from here, digging the left elbow down, try to twist the right side of the belly and chest open. Sometimes I take my left hand, I crawl it way out there, or crawl it to my right knee, and just help the twist happen. I'm pushing off with the left hand, I'm pulling back with the right hand. The ball joint of the big toe is essential here to get this deep twist. Super powerful pose. Then pushing down with everything that you have, sweep your right arm up, bring your right shoulder up,
Come to the top, chin to the chest for a moment. Little smiley faces, chin to the right, back to the center, chin to the left, back to the center. Full circle in one direction, stop in the center, full circle in the other direction, stop in the center, roll your shoulders up and back, chin up parallel. And then here we go, bring your legs back to the center. Janu Shirshasana, left heel in, left knee falls out, sole of the foot to the inner thigh, 90-degree angle. Remember the flesh from your buttocks back, toes up, kneecap up, inhaling arms up. There's a twist here, so the torso is going to twist without the sit bones lifting to the right. Keeping that twist, imagining that the belly button will center over the right thigh. Hinge at your hips, allow yourself to come forward, out and down. Do not let the sit bones lift to accommodate this, but push back in the sit bones to expand and extend the chest. Holding on to wherever you can evenly onto the right leg to take a moment to pull back, to slide your shoulder blades down the back, bring the chest forward, and then coming down wherever the point is that you can go to, holding on evenly. Remember, the foot is active like you're standing. As you push against it, shoulders away from the ears. And then if there's a point where you bow the head, and just let behind the forehead soften as you breathe in and exhale out. You're turning the left shoulder down, the right shoulder's lifting up energetically, and extension in the spine. Breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. Then gently inhale, still pulling back on your arms, but pushing away with the foot. Lift your head and chest. There's your extension. As you exhale, it's a slow inhale, come up. Right leg extends out, so this is more of a 180 degree. The left heel comes into the left groin, the left toes turning down. I have to be really careful with this one, is my bad knee, so that it's essential that I get the inner thighs back and apart, so there's a lift, a shift, and then there's a moment where we have to take and twist the opposite direction to be able to get the twist in here. So right hand in the center, left hand to the outside. These are called teacup fingers. There's a push down to get the lift up. So we press down, inhale, lift up. Now, tendency is I want to lift my right butt cheek. I'm not going to let that happen. Pushing down to lift up, twist to the left first without the butt lifting up to help me, because I can get a much deeper twist, but it's not as solid. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to take the right hand and slide it down inside of my right leg to the lowest point. When I get there, I don't worry about how far I go right now. But when I get here, right ear to right shoulder. That's really important. Now when I get here, the left hand is going to press onto the left thigh, and I'm thinking not twist right now, I want to get extension length. So I'm pushing the left hand into the thigh, energetically moving the left knee away so that I can lift the right side of my ribs up, extend, dropping in on that, and then from here I can actually twist open, but left arm out, palm up, sweep left arm up alongside of your ear. Maybe it touches the foot, maybe it doesn't. You don't want to see the arm. It wouldn't be in front.
It's got to be back behind the ear, so you're getting this whole side body stretch. And so remember what I did with the other one? I took my right hand either out or my elbow out, dig it down, twist, reach, and stretch. This is my tight side. I always feel it here. So I'm going to spend just a second here and breathe into that. Energetically pushing away through my left knee. The right elbow's down. Maybe the right hand will hold on to the left knee like it did in the other pose. There's a push down and away and a pull back with the hand that helps me deepen the twist. Your sit bone will lift, but just feel the deep stretch where it is. Breathe into that. Guide your breath. Press it down everywhere you can to use your left arm to inhale up. Exhale, bring it in. Take the moment, chin to the chest. Smiley face to one shoulder. Back to the center, to the other shoulder. Back to the center. All the way around one side. Stop in the center. All the way around. Other side, back in the center. Roll shoulders up, back, chin up. Then you bend your right knee, extend the legs out. Now we need a forward fold of some type because that was one side, then the other, and some sort of forward fold. So we're going to bend the knees, back to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. As you press the feet into one another, you can see how my pelvis is tilting. I need to do a lift and a shift, so I'm going to use my hands to assist. And then I lift up. I basically am sticking my butt out and back there, setting back onto the seat. And then I use my hands to push the floor away to kind of drag forward. And then that gives me a great pelvic tilt, like I'm sitting on the edge of a blanket, or I could just easier sit on the edge of a blanket and get this, hold on to both of my feet, inhale, and then as you exhale, the elbows are bending straight back like chaturanga arms. And what I'm hoping for with the elbows is to get the forearms onto the thigh. And then, like, if I were going to do a hands-on adjustment, I would come onto your thigh, and then I push you down and roll the thighs back as you came forward. So when I hold on to the feet, the elbows are in tight. Then as I hinge at the hips, there comes a touching point for the elbows and forearms to push on the thigh. The feet are energetically pushing into each other. The knees are energetically moving away. Forearms onto the thigh, and you're coming out and down. I know that that's a lot of talk, but that's what happens when you go into the same poses everybody else is doing, but applying different energetics into it to access a deeper place in the pose. So if it makes sense to you, take it for what it's worth. And if it doesn't mean it's Charlie Brown's teacher talking, that's cool too. Just wherever it is for you, just take what you can get and leave the rest behind. Then inhaling, lifting your head and chest. Exhaling, sitting back nice and easy. Taking the knees from outside, WD-40 the knees in. Feet move out a little bit forward. And let's add a few abs in here, not too much. The feet are down, the arms are out. We got a little late start, so we're going to cut it down a little short. So hollowing out the belly, you're going to take the xiphoid process to the top of the pubic bone. You should want to shorten that space. So the feet are pressing down, the knees aren't allowed to splay out. Hollow out your belly, and let's feel it. Each vertebra come down slow, and slow, and slow, and slow. Stop and hold. Breathe. Squeeze your abs. Chin away from your chest, shoulders away from your ears. Let it be the abs squeezing. And then here we go. All the way out and down. Slow, slow, slow. Once you get down, take a moment here to hug your knees into the chest. I like to hold on to my kneecaps, straighten the arms, flex the feet. Now I can feel my hips, and I just want to roll side to side, one direction and the other. Just kind of releasing here. Stop in the middle, hug your knees up into your chest. Soles of your feet onto the floor. The arms are alongside of you. I know you think you're going into Shavasana, but you got another move to go. So as your feet are pressing down, the feet are hip bone distance apart, arms are alongside of you. Push your feet and arms down to lift the hips up. Press it down, lift up. Press it down and lift up. Be sure the knees are not splaying out by anchoring your feet down. As you anchor your feet down, anchor your shoulders down, press to lift up. If it's in your practice to interlace your hands behind your bottom, interlace your hands, palms together, shimmy shoulders under, stretch out through your elbows, straighten your arms, push your feet down, drag the heels towards your shoulders, reach your knuckles towards your heels. Feel yourself creating space in the front side of the body. Push it down to lift up, releasing your hands, shoulder out, take it from top to bottom slowly. There's a pelvic tilt in there, and then bring it down. One more. Here we go. Elbows in, feet anchor, press down, lift up, extend arms, hold hands, shimmy shoulders under, palms together, stretch your knuckles towards your heels, engage your feet, push your feet down, try to drag them back. As you anchor down, once your chest touches your chin, move your chin away, and finding space. It should be a little bit of a butt burner too. Inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands out, shoulder out, top to bottom, slow, bring it down. Hug your knees into your chest. Cross your right knee over the left. You can hook it one more time if you'd like. This is a very deep twist if you hook the foot the second time. So maybe once. Extending the arms out. If you have a double hook, you really want to make sure that you push the left foot down, lift the hips, shift it over to the right, bring the knees up. Inhale, keeping your right shoulder down, right knee to the floor on the left side. You look towards your right fingertips and breathe. This just feels luscious. This is an amazing twist. There's so much opening up. You really want to identify where you're feeling any kind of resistance. Let yourself breathe in when you inhale into that space. And when you exhale, feel all that tension, exhaling it out with the breath. Press it down. Draw your navel to the spine to help protect your low back. Keep it all together. Inhale back to the center. And then you can do this awesome move. Cross the opposite way. If I'm going to double hook, I'm going to use my right foot to the floor, lift my hips, shift over to the left, then bring the knees up to the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, the left knee going over to the right side, looking to your left fingertips, ideally keeping the shoulder down. And just breathe here. Notice the difference between the right side and the left side. Has it been that way throughout your practice today? One side tighter than the other, or is it just this one pose? What's happening inside of you? Just taking that time to really connect into where you are today, what's tight today, what's resistant today, and allowing yourself to use your breath to move into that space, to start to let go of resistance. If the resistance is there because it has to be there for the previous injury, that's one thing. But maybe it's just habit to have resistance in that space. Maybe you can do this little by little, breathing in, making space, letting things go. And whenever you're ready, you have to draw the navel into the spine to really anchor. Inhale, bring it back to the center, uncross your legs, readjust your spine to neutral, draw both knees up into your chest, forehead touches into your knees, point your toes, squeeze yourself into a tight little ball, inhale, and as you exhale, extend the arms and the legs out. Feet fall out to the sides, arms out to the sides, shift and make yourself comfortable for a few moments of Shavasana. I'm getting up, you stay down. But in Shavasana, this is so important that you don't skip this. You think that maybe you're too busy and you've done your practice and now you got to go and get back to regular life. But if you carved out this amount of time for your practice, this is part of the practice. It's not a sideliner. I mean, this is
asana, this is the seat, taking the seat and being comfortable in the seat, or just being still and being comfortable in your own skin. So as you lay back, this is an exercise probably harder than a lot of the poses that we've moved through so far. Allow the toes to soften and relax. And consciously, you're letting your body systematically melt into the earth beneath you. So your toes are soft, you feel the softness moving into your feet. Just let yourself be heavy just for a moment. As your feet are heavy, the ankles, let it move up through the toes, through the feet, into the ankles, into the shins and the calves, and just let go. As it moves through the shins, the calves, maybe into the knees and the skin behind the knees, just feel there's this softening and letting go. Just letting the nervous system go. Feel the relaxation moving from your knees into the thighs and the hamstrings, into the larger muscles of the legs, and just feel them soften and relax. And even your buttocks soften there. You'd be surprised how much gripping is going on and not in the way we need. So let it go, let it go. Feel the belly soft. And just imagine, just for a moment, that your internal organs can soften, that you can control the internal organs and just let go. The organs of digestion, of the cleansing. Just let go. Let it have a break for a moment. Imagine giving your body that well-deserved break. Abdomen is soft. The chest light. Let your whole back body melt into the floor, into your mat, into the earth. From your chest into your shoulders, from your shoulders into your arms, from your arms into your hands, and from your hands into your fingertips. Just imagine that every exhalation you can send out through the fingertips one by one, and that you can release any tension, any stress, anything that you're holding on to. You have the power to send that away now. Just let it slip away through your fingers one by one. Whatever emotions are not serving you, whatever it is, just breathe it out. Shavasana is it's another word for corpse pose, so it's like the end of something. And this is the end of the person that walked into the practice today, and then the re-emerging of where you are in your new space. So just send away anything that you no longer want to keep with you. From your fingertips into your shoulders, into the shoulders, neck, throat, jaw. Allow the upper teeth to separate from the lower teeth and the tongue to simply float in the mouth. Allow every muscle in your face to soften, to melt back. Even allow the frontal lobe of your brain, the space behind your forehead, just let it be soft for a moment. All the way from the tips of your toes through the crown of the head, feel the entire physical body surrender. And just let go. Start to bring conscious breath back into your body. Just begin to deepen your respirations. Become aware of every inhalation. Become aware of every exhalation. Allow every inhalation to rejuvenate and to re-energize. Allow every exhalation to cleanse. When you exhale, be sure that you're exhaling completely. Become aware of your fingers, become aware of your toes. And just start with a little bit of movement in the fingers, a little bit of movement in the toes. And take a moment and maybe you take a full body stretch, stretching your arms over your head, stretch out through your legs. Take this deep body stretch. Stretch your right side a little more than the left side a little more than the right, and then stretching it out nice and even. Then bending the knees, the soles of the feet onto the floor, very gently curling over to your right side. Keeping any and all relaxation that you may have gained. Turn toward the floor, use your left hand, right arm, and begin to press yourself up into a seated position. Come up nice and slow. Take your seat. Feel your sit bones pressing down. Just notice all the space you've created inside. Feel this anchoring down through the seat to lift up and create space. Bring your chins parallel with the floor. Take the throat back, ears back. And as you slide the shoulder blades down the back, the chest open and broad. Drawing the breath in through the nostrils, exhaling out through the nostrils. As you inhale, feel the breath cool. As you exhale, feel the warmth in the breath as you exhale out. Beginning to move the breath into 3 parts. Inhaling, belly rise, ribs expand, chest lifting. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. Inhaling, belly rising more, ribs expand, front, sides, back side, all the way up into your chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Continue to move your breath as you inhale it in and you exhale out. We'll draw our hands into the heart center, concluding our class with the final Om. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Exhale, let it all go out. Be loud, let it go. Again, inhaling deeply. Opening your mouth, sigh. Exhale, let it go. The next one will be our Om. Inhaling. Bowing your head to your heart center, just a moment of reflection upon all the blessings in your own life. Acknowledging all the beauty that resides within yourself. Acknowledge how beautiful your own practice was today. How beautiful it was just to show up. Allowing your light to shine bright, we look for light in all beings. We bow to each other's light with Namaste. Thank you so much for taking time out of your days, to taking time to be in the practice, and I really appreciate you. Take a moment and we'll have a break, and then we'll resume back. We did it pretty good on time too, yay. So on our schedule, there's a break. Whether you'd like to just sit for a few more minutes or whatever it is that you need